Hey guys, and welcome to Waste on Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and we do makeovers. We paint thrift finds. We literally make stuff from junk sometimes that we pulled out of the garbage. Today, it's like a mini paint-a-palooza because we're headed out of town tomorrow to Alabama to go junking and to visit Zev's mom for her birthday. So we decided we would get some projects out of the garage just so that way if they sell, they're already painted.
I titled the video Crunch Time Thrifting.
Yeah, we got to get things done. I actually already base coated 3 things. So I'm going to get these candlesticks base coated in plaster. I don't know what I'm doing with them after that, but we'll go from there. And then Zev, what are your plans with those pedestals? Those have been kicking around the garage.
These have been falling over. They have new chips. They have old chips. I think it's latex that's on there. I sanded them a little bit, just swiped at them with some 220 grit to give them a little tooth and to take any of there were like a couple peely parts, like this corner right here that I didn't quite get. I want to make sure that's not coming through my paint finish because I want them to look like stone. I'm using anvil and then I'm going to white wax these. I haven't done the anvil with a white wax for like that cement look, but I think it'll give it a darker look than maybe say using like gray skies because gray skies already looks like cement. So I want to see what the white wax will do on the anvil and how much it tones this back. So we're going to get painting.
Oh, I didn't realize this had glass on the top of it.
It's okay. You want me to scratch it a little bit with the sandpaper?
Well, I wonder if you can just heat it up and take it off.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd probably just crack and break.
I just don't want to paint glass.
Here, we'll just sand it.
No.
You gonna see if you can heat gun it?
If it cracks and breaks, it's one less thing I gotta paint.
Well, we were pulling it off anyway, right? That was the whole point of the heat gun. All right, so these are going anvil. They're already black, so it should cover pretty well. I'm not really stressing that. I just need to give it a new coat that's not like all chipped up and busted and peeling all over the place.
Renee says it's not hot there yet because she's a desert rat. My sister lived in Yuma most of her life.
It's not hot there yet. Renee, my sister has already reported over 100 degrees in Tucson, and you're hotter than Tucson.
Yeah. It actually is cold. It was like 50 degrees here this morning, but the high is going to be 70. So I'm wearing shorts in anticipation.
It is chilly. Harrington got a bunch of snow in Wyoming last night. He's out fishing this morning. He's in between jobs and his new job hasn't started yet. So he's like, I'm going to go fishing in the snow. He loves it. It's like his best life. He informed us the other day, and I actually feel like this would be a good switch for him. He was doing nursing and things, and he's a registered CNA. Is that the right term?
He just is a CNA.
Yeah. Anyway, he was going to school to become an RN, and then he was maybe going to use that to pay for like even more schooling and do something more along the medical field. And he's like, I just don't think I can work in an office. I just don't think I can do it, like office or hospital, like indoors. And so now he's looking at it to see what he needs to be to become a game warden in Wyoming. And I actually applaud that because there is nothing more miserable than doing something you hate just because you think you have to do that to make a living.
But we have been telling him, oh look, there it goes. Look at that.
You won.
We've been telling him forever to do what you love. Because I remember when he told us he wanted to be an anesthesiologist, I was like, are you sure you want to be a doctor? Like that sounds like a lot of work.
I think in his mind, he's like, that's probably like the easiest, fastest route to making like a really solid living. And it is. I don't know that it's easy. It's a lot of schooling, and he's smart, but also inside, like if anyone ever needed to touch grass, that kid needs to touch grass.
I feel like it took us until we were in our 30s to really do what we actually wanted to be doing. So if our kid can figure it out in his 20s, even better.
Yeah. Plus, I think he'd be really good at it. He loves animals. He loves being outdoors. He loves nature. And it's literally like we're never getting him back from Wyoming. He's found his spot.
I feel like we spent our 20s having babies and like just surviving, and then we spent our 30s. Well, I had one more baby, and then we just spent it growing our business. And now we're in our 40s and just really doing the things that we want to do, and also like really honing in on the parts of our business that maybe we are going to change, because I feel like you don't know what you want to do until you do it, right? So it's good. We have a pretty good rhythm.
Well, like this week, we were absolutely like killing ourselves trying to get out of town. I'm like, you know what? We're going to be back Monday afternoon. If I don't have I'm going to edit the video for Monday because we already have it filmed in the airport. I got like at least 4 hours of sitting around in an airport that I can get a video edited and get that up and out on Monday. And if it doesn't happen, we'll be home. It'll be a little late Monday evening and the video will still go up. So it'll be all right. Because at the end of the day, we got to get up at 2:30 tomorrow morning and get to the airport and then fly for 5 hours. Because we couldn't get a direct flight over Memorial Day weekend. So we're stopping off in Texas for a layover for about an hour and a half. And then we're going to Alabama.
Well, we did find out that Spirit flies. They have limited flights. And if you've ever flown Spirit, it's a situation. So we're going Southwest. Delta is my favorite, but the flights were expensive and they didn't have the times. And Southwest is going to allow us to take 2 bags each. So the only thing is we can't do the Delta lounge, but I think I need to look and see which airports we're laying over. They might have American Express lounges.
I was trying to pick this up without smearing the paint, and I just tipped it over. That would be
so bad. You want to, are you taking that outside?
No, I'm just going to leave it over here.
That'd be so bad if you finally like got to it and then it's like survived the garage.
They've only fallen over like 4 times like that in the garage.
Where are we heading? We're going to Alabama. What's our first layover?
Dallas Fort Worth.
Dallas Fort Worth, which is not very long. So
On the home, we stop in Denver. On the way home, we stop in Denver.
I'm going to check the lounges and see what's available. So we have an American Express card that we use for work. It's a platinum. And one of my favorite benefits is that when we fly, we get free food and drinks. And I know that that's like not a big deal, but in my life, like
we're flying like the cheapest seats we can get. But Jamie's going to the lounge at the airports.
Hey, I don't drink wine, but the wine and dine, like that's the life, man.
It is nice to go in there. Like the bathrooms are super clean. And
airport food's expensive.
And like the food is good.
And I'm like kind of particular about the airport. Zeb's like, I will take that $10 bottle of water. Yes, I will. And that $20 bag of chocolates. And I'm like, I could get a new outfit. I'm just gonna eat like something small or eat snack in my bag.
I don't mess around with getting hangry at the airport. there's not a lot of things that I'll spend a ton of money on that I know I can get later for much more for less. But if I'm hungry, I will eat.
I travel with food everywhere. Like I don't leave the house without a snack in my bag. And the food is usually pretty healthy and good. The Amex lounge in Heathrow, that breakfast was really, really good. And they usually have good Wi-Fi. Debbie says lounges are the best. Didn't Southwest change their baggage allowance? Did they? Because I looked it up and it still said 2. I guess I better look it up. It still said 2 plus a carry-on and a personal item. Well, we'll double check before we go. I hope so, because we're planning on just using our suitcases to bring our stuff back. And I always get an extra suitcase when I fly Delta. Like instead of 1, we get 2 because of my medallion status. Like when we go to England.
We've flown enough now that they're like, okay, you can have a couple perks.
We're not jet setters by any means, but. And I did get 1 free day with my Enterprise Club or whatever it is I am with our rental car. Because we are renting a car because I don't like to rely on other people to drive me places. So we're renting a car so we can go where we want while we're there.
Oh no, where are the heat guns? Do you have them both out over there?
Out right there. You're beating the bagging change. It says it changes 5/28. So when is 5/28?
That's next week.
But it's like, is that when we come home?
No.
Okay. Perfect.
Because it's the 21st today.
Oh, next Wednesday is 5/28. Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we'll be home on Monday. So
Well,
we're
then
good.
when they change their baggage policy, I'm going to just not fly them because that's like the only like thing I like about Southwest.
Oh, here it is, way down on the bottom.
Because in Salt Lake, you got to walk 1.5 miles to just get to the terminal, and I'm not.
Yeah,
kidding.
in Salt Lake, they added like a
Stupid.
huge.
Like what? But there's no terminals in between. So like, what is in between?
It's where they turn the planes around. I don't know. It's like a causeway that you just walk down forever.
Maybe they'll change it. It's always under construction, so maybe it'll be different later. I have no idea.
It's a really busy airport, so I think they were just planning ahead.
What would you use to glue 2 pieces of glass together? Probably like E6000.
Yeah, it works well. Or that Gorilla Glue construction adhesive that we've been using also works good.
I don't know if you're worried about it like yellowing. I haven't glued plain glass together enough, like if it's clear, to really tell you. I pretty much use E6000. Like when we do our little pedestal things, that's what I like to use, or the Gorilla Glue construction adhesive.
They make it in a clear, a white, and a black on the Gorilla Glue. So
actually, in the video going up tomorrow, you'll see me use E6000. People always ask us like how to glue on molds. I'm like, whatever glue you have that's handy that'll work with the thing that you're gluing it on, that's what I use. E6000 does work. It does take a little bit longer. Oh, this has.
Does it have a big crack in there?
A crack, like it's been repaired.
Is it already repaired, or does it need me to repair it?
No, I feel like it needs more glue in there.
Okay. All right, we'll paint your other one, and I will go get the glue.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Okay, well, moving on. Because remember when we bought this, there was one that the top was broken, and I didn't buy that.
So probably my favorite super glue right now. This gel glue works really well, and it's thick enough like it can fill a void instead of just like a lot of super glues are so thin they just run down into stuff. It does take a little longer to dry.
I am using Cottage Color all-in-one paint in a plaster. I don't know that I said that. So this is like a really great cream. It's more of a brown tone creamed instead of yellow, which is my favorite. I'm not super big fan of yellow toned creams. Delissa wants to know if we're from Alabama. Absolutely, we are not.
No.
We are from Arizona.
My parents aren't from Alabama, but that's where they're home basing right now.
Yeah, his dad like bought some property up there, and then
he was working out there.
Yeah,
and then he got some property to live out there.
And they're like, "Well, we own this, so we'll live here," and they do.
Yep.
And his parents are like, Zeb and I kind of like to stay in our lane, and we've lived here since Harrington was 5. His parents have lived in I don't know how many states in our married life. Like his dad has had a lot of traveling jobs. So home is wherever they land.
That one's empty, I think.
There actually was a time when I couldn't remember where they lived. Like somebody asked me where they lived. And at that time, I think they had the property in Alabama. They also had property in New Mexico, but they were living in Colorado.
They had property in Arizona.
And I had to really think. I was like, where are his parents? I'm like, I think they're in Colorado because they were with your aunt for like 9 months living on her property.
Yeah.
Like doing some work.
Well, they were thinking about like moving
a summer
up there.
home or something. Were they going to do like a summer home there?
I don't know. They were in between places.
Listen, I don't know. Are we back from Alabama? No,
not
we'll
yet.
For Alabama tomorrow. Have not left yet.
Okay, so that's on there. They do have some glue on here already. But this is really, I think, gonna make it sturdy again. Because it's not like falling apart. You see me hold it up there by its own weight, but the glue will help.
Amy, sorry.
I'm gonna go set this outside so the sun can work.
You want to bring in my other projects? Amy, I'm not sure about an oil brush bronze look. I haven't tried to create that. It was real popular in like the early 2000s, and I mostly have painted over it. So I haven't tried to actually recreate that particular look. You could probably just like with our paint, I'm not sure how you could do it, but you could probably use like a rub and buff maybe to get oil rub bronze. Might be your best bet. But she wanted to know, Zeb, if you can mix anvil and provincial. The thing is, oil rub bronze is like,
but I don't
shiny.
Well,
could you do like
it's
copper
like
mixed with
Yeah, you're going to need
Dark and
some sort of
decrepit.
metallic in there because to
Copper
get
mixed with
the.
dark green decrepit might be, in my mind, I feel like that's the
I would
closest you'll get.
like work up to it with the dark and decrepit, like very slowly.
Very slow, yeah. When you're adding darks, I'm gonna grab my apron. I have only worn this shirt a few times, and I'd rather not get paint on it. Looks really cute.
You're going to need some more coats on these, I think.
Yeah, I just base coated those. Jamie, how can you get access to a lounge at an airport? It depends. Certain credit cards, points, like if you fly a lot, like Delta points, but you have to fly a lot. We have American Express Platinum cards that we use for work. It sounds a lot bougier than it is, but there are a lot of benefits with them. And I think we pay like $300 a year for the card, but there's a bunch.
It's like one of the perks of that card. Like some cards you get flight miles, some cards you get cash back.
We get points, but then we also get a bunch of other perks. So I would just Google it, like which airport you normally go to, what are the lounges, what do you got to do to get into them. Read the fine print, because Zeb and I each have, because we don't have the Delta status, we each have to have a platinum card, which we do. Some people don't realize that, or you have to pay to get in. There's like speckles. I don't know how that happened. It's fine because I'm going to dry brush this.
Second coat and dry brush.
Metal shelf, and I'm going to dry brush it with white anyways, so it's okay.
So this is painted. It's going to look real similar to the anvil on camera probably, but this is in Pacific, which is like our navy blue.
Thank you, Junk Fella. She said she liked my shirt. This shirt is actually from the website, so it's on jamirayvintage.com. If you go to the JRV closet, we actually have quite a few new things. This one is only small, medium, and large, and I have a bunch of dresses that are only small, medium, and large, but we are able to sell down east again. And I believe most of those clothes go up to a 2X, which I love. When I could just buy extra small to 2X, just makes my life a lot easier. So definitely check that out. I haven't had time to show everything off, but I have one of everything. So eventually I will get it all worn. It's very, very cute. For Easter, my floral dress, if you saw that we went to the Mother's Day tea, we carried that on the website as well. I know we have sold some of our stuff since I brought it in. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with the inventory and shopping and stuff. While Zeb's editing, I will probably be working on website and inventory stuff while we're in the airport. Although when we get to the airport at 2 a.m., I'm going to be late.
Not going to be quite.
Like, you booked this flight. I'm going to use your shoulder. Don't move.
It was that, or we wouldn't have got there. Like we could have flown in Friday, and it's going to be such a turnaround trip anyway.
No,
like I wanted to visit with my mom.
Time to go visit your mom. Like I think it is ridiculous to go somewhere for 2 days. So no.
You know who I think is more excited that we're coming out there than my mom is my dad, because he's had all these projects. We're always Marco Poloing back and forth and talking about things and spinning ideas off of each other. And now I'm going to be there to see his projects because we haven't been out there.
I don't know if your dad's going to be, he's going to be excited when you get there. But until then, all the projects he has to do because everybody's coming into town.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He called me this morning at 7. I'm like, Dad, it's too early. I was up until 1 editing last night. I hadn't cracked my eyes open yet.
This shirt only comes in a small, medium, and large. Unfortunately, like some of the brands, that's just the way it is. But there is a green down east shirt that I tried on last night with a pair of white pants that I'm going to wear when we go shopping in Alabama. Is that green shirt not cute?
It is a good shirt.
And it pairs well with, like, I got these crop denim jeans on sale from Banana Republic. Now, his parents' property is really muddy, and so I'm taking my
I warned her. I'm like, fair warning, those might get some Alabama clay on them.
So my plan is I'm just going to put on the pair of, like, shorts or whatever, some, like, tight shorts, like white ones or whatever. And then in the car, before we go shopping, I'm going to put my white pants on. Because they're so cute. And when I'm home, I'm always painting. So I can't always dress as cute as I want to, but I'm not going to be painting out there. So. Oh, gosh, we are sold out of small, large, and 2X and the green one. Okay, I will get to ordering more, guys. If you click notify me when back in stock, then you'll know when we get more.
The green one is fun.
That particular company is located in Utah, so it usually comes fairly quick. So I will restock it.
Eliza is a very fun 16-year-old. And when she thinks, like if you ask her what you think this looks like, you must embrace the fact that she might cut you a little deeper than you wanted to be cut.
She'll say it looks good for you.
So Jamie's like, what do you think how do you think this shirt looks with these pants? And she didn't say it looks good for you, because that's what she'll say when she's like, yeah, it's cute, but for you, not for me.
Cute.
But she just liked it. So that's a good sign.
She liked my pants too.
Yeah.
Both her and Odelia wanted to borrow them, which does happen a lot now. We're all about the same size. And the thing is, it's okay that Eliza doesn't like all my clothes, because it's not like I'm going to walk around and it used to be when I was a girl, if your belly was hanging out, it was an indication that you were just a certain kind of girl. Now it's like the style to have like at least a half inch of stomach hanging out in every shirt, and every girl has it. And I'm like, well, I don't think the world is ready for my muffin top, so that will not be happening. So when Eliza tells me, well, it looks good for you, I'm not really hurting my feelings, because guess what? There are some things she wears that I'm not wearing either. So it's fine. It's okay. I'm 42. Yeah. And she's 16. So style can be a little different. But they do steal my jeans, my overalls. I just got a new dress that we don't carry, but it was half off from Free People on Mother's Day weekend. And I bought it. And Odelia is wearing it today, and Eliza has decided that she's going to wear it after Odelia. So
they're going to take turns.
Yeah,
these dresses aren't going to last you long if everybody's wearing them all week.
I don't wear them that often. Why do I get wrinkles in my paper? Are you using like rice paper, and
what kind of paper are you
liquid
using?
patina? Depends on what you're using. Rice paper mixed with liquid patina, typically if you just let it dry all the way, it'll pull it out. If it's tissue paper, it's just the nuance of tissue paper. You can do the method where you lay down the patina, put the tissue paper, iron it on, and then lay down more patina.
All of the layers have to be dry when you're ironing.
So you lay on the liquid patina, let it dry, put the paper on, iron it, then lay on more liquid patina, then lay down like a towel and iron it again quickly. Okay. Since I lost weight, my outfits are adorable and springy. I'm not going to lie. It is fun to shop. And that probably is why we have cuter and more wide variety. It is hard for me to shop when I'm not confident.
Cody, no. That dog does not need you to bark at him. Go on.
And I do
go back upstairs.
I do need to go through my closet again. I do have some cute things that I'm going to be selling. I have a couple of bags at the shop I need to photograph, and then I just need to clean out, because when you sell clothes, you have to try them. Like, I feel like it's irresponsible to sell things that you're not wearing, that you don't know the quality and how it holds up and everything. And so you do wind up acquiring more than one human need. So I have slowly started like going through that. All right, Caitlin says she needs to step away, so I will watch for questions.
I'm just getting some white wax. I'll be right back.
Jackie says, in my day, if your stomach was showing, it meant you couldn't afford clothes that fit you. Also, my mom says in her day, if you had holes in your jeans, it meant that you were poor. And I'm going to tell you right now, look, watch. Look at these shorts. They got holes in them, cut-offs. I actually did cut these off, but they came from the manufacturer with holes in them. All right. We're going to get to more than just painting here pretty quick. These two projects,
I'm
once
about
that's
to white
dry,
wax.
I'm going to be ready to put on a transfer. This one here, this metal tray that I painted, actually has like, I don't know, mail holder situation. Goes on the bottom. I just unscrewed it to make it easier to paint. So. Oh, is my other candlestick still outside?
Yeah, we're gonna let it dry for a minute. So until you're ready for
I'll
a
just
project.
move this over to the side. I'm gonna paint my sifter over there that I started earlier.
Okay, we're using DIY's white wax. We used to use this a ton, and it's not that it went bad. We just got into the dark wax finishes for a while. But if you need to make something look like stone or cement, paint it in a dark gray, black, brown color in that genre, and then white wax it, and it works so good.
I can't remember, but we do have a video coming up early. I don't know if it's at 10 our time or 11, but when Caitlin pops on, I'll ask her what time the video comes up, but we do have the video coming out. So please watch it when it comes up. Please share it. It's like not our normal time. And so every time we put something up, not at the normal time, it just doesn't seem to do as well.
It doesn't push it out because it's like your normal viewers don't normally watch right now. It's a fun video though. We're almost done. Jamie's got to do a little bit of voiceover on it. And then
It's mostly me painting because Zeb was gone. So just be prepared for that. But he does make a cameo. I don't know if it's as obvious the way we edited it, that was just mostly me. What did you edited it? So what do you think?
It's fine.
Sometimes you do what you got to do. Zeb did all the work and all the editing, which actually on the release videos is a lot because he has to format all of the new products. Because if you guys have ever watched our release videos, he puts it all on the screen and he adds movement. And you wouldn't think that's a lot of work, but it actually is to pull all the graphics together.
Got it done though. It's ready to go.
I don't know that Caitlin's coming back. I think she said that Spencer needed to go to urgent care because he was sick. So it might just be us.
Please, all right. He has a lot of allergies and sometimes has really extreme reactions.
So I won't be able to ask her, but probably like 10 or 11 a.m. I think it's 10 a.m. the video goes live. And we always make sure to get right to it and show the products. That's why Zeb does all the graphics in the beginning. And then we get straight into painting. Using the product.
The last few times,
to film too much painting because that's not what it's about.
Yeah, the last few times we've done it kind of this style, and people have really liked it. They say they can see the products really well. They really like how they come together and how we use them. So we stuck with that.
We don't use every single product, but we use one of each type of product. So that always works well. We're home. We leave tomorrow. We'll be back Monday. You guys won't even know that we're gone. Literally anybody that's been here for a while knows that we take our job very seriously. So we always get our content done ahead of time when at all possible. And so we'll have our video out tomorrow. We will have our live video pre-recorded for Saturday. We've done lots of shopping, so please watch it and shop because that one, it always does better when we're actually
It's all
live.
that awesome stuff we found Monday.
And then Monday's video is us going to the bins. And then I'm also going to be painting a little nightstand.
All right. So just anvil. And then down here, we obviously have some white wax, but this is where it's really starting to show up good.
This was not all the way dry when I put the second coat on, and it's just kind of pulling up the paint. All right, I think it's dry enough. I can throw this outside to let it really dry.
It's a really simple effect. I'm literally wiping white wax on and then wiping it back off, but the effect is very dramatic on there.
Before we went live, I put a coat of paint on the sifter. So I'm just going to second coat. This is all the way dry. So, and then next Thursday, it's going to be us thrifting in Alabama. I have no idea what we're going to find. Yep. But we did enough thrifting for the video that we're putting up Monday that whatever we find will be
Monday will be a bins video.
Bins and one thrift store. And then a little bit of painting by me. And then Thursday will be our Alabama video.
Thursday, you will very likely see my mom because I think she's coming with us. Like she's meeting us when we land in Birmingham, and we're going to go thrifting.
We're going antiquing on Friday as well, but we might have little kids with us, so I don't know how much filming we'll do. We might just put it to some music or something. Oh, Alicia, sorry that we will miss you too. Have fun in the shop. Let's see, tomorrow is Thursday. I think Eliza's working some hours, so you might see Eliza Typically, if she's working, she's up front. And I don't know. I think Keziah will be there. So,
Megan works
Janie,
on
I don't know
Thursdays.
exactly how much shipping would be on 3 bags of milk paint. If you go to our website to policies and stuff, it's got the pricing on there. I just don't know off the top of my head. There's lots of fun places. I need to look up where I wanted to go. Somebody told I got to go through my message thread with Zeb because I texted him every time somebody mentioned something. So
there's a few good ones that we want to check out in Birmingham. And my mom, she lives about an hour south of Birmingham. She's got some what she calls honey holes that she loves to go to.
I only want to buy antiques. I'm giving Zeb the heads up now. Like if it's regular stuff we can get here, I don't want to buy it.
Yeah, because it's hard to fly at home. It's kind of like when we're in England. We don't, unless it's like an antique hand-carved wood candlestick or copper or like a really ornate brass something or other like that. We don't really buy candlesticks in England.
If it needs a makeover, probably not buying it. Our video that we put out this week was actually one of our best videos in a while. And fun fact, last Thursday I put out a video. We did not. My thumbnail was not getting very much.
It's like the same kind of video we always do.
Yeah, it was a great video. Wasn't getting very much play. So I literally just YouTube will pick stills from the video and you can use that as a thumbnail. And I'm like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? Right? Let's try this out. I splattered some paint. And so I did that. And now that one is taking off. Like, it's so bizarre. It's frustrating to me that sometimes this works, sometimes that works. And the videos are always about the same. Does milk paint chip? Yes, milk paint does chip. If you don't want it to chip, use farmhouse finishes or add extra bond. If you're using our bespoke, that only comes in the original milk paint formula. So you'll need to buy extra bond and then you can add that to your paint. There's instructions on how to use it. I wouldn't buy milk paint without bond. No matter what you're doing, unless it's raw wood, you might need at least a little bit to keep it from chipping all the way off. And then yes, you should seal milk paint. I haven't on a lot of my own personal pieces, but you should at least use clear wax on it.
It's probably, as far as paints go, if you're going for like an old world, vintage, antique type look, it's probably the easiest way to do that. Because other than mixing it up and painting it on there, like it's going to chip and do what it wants. And then you can embellish it, distress it more, wet distress it, get more chipping. Like it's really fun. I really love milk paint finishes.
The Foundry thrift store, I think I have heard of that. And there's also Highway 278 Antique Barn. So we'll see. Can one use milk paint with bond on plastic? Yes, you can. Super shiny plastic, I would still like lightly sand it.
Okay, so compare and contrast. It looks like I wiped more off than I wanted to down here.
You know how I always give you a hard time about splattering? Today I'm the one splattering on my own projects. Although I think that's where the bin goes, so it doesn't really matter.
So you can see here how this one's black. A lot of that detail's kind of just going away, whereas the one that's white waxed, it stands out quite a bit more. Okay, that one's done. This ready for you to put a big bird's nest or something on top there.
I like that one. I don't have any big bird's nests.
I know you're gonna have to get other sizes.
I think I'm just gonna sell those as is. I really like that with the white wax. It turned out really pretty. Such a simple project.
Yeah, it's really, and this wax, we have probably had this can of wax and done, I would say, at least 20 projects or more, and it's still probably got about a quarter of the wax left in it. It goes a long way.
Terry says she's placed many orders in the last 6 months and have loved everything she's received. Well, thank you.
We appreciate it, Terry. That really helps us keep going.
If it wasn't for our online orders, we would not be able to keep our shop open because for whatever reason, local people have not really embraced.
We do have a few regulars that come a few times a month.
But people love the big box store in Lehigh and American Fork.
Yep.
Salt Lake is more known for like independent retailers, but we're working on it. And I can't complain. We are getting there. And we've only been at our location, how many?
It'll be 3 years in October.
Yeah, it takes sometimes 10 years to get established somewhere when you're an independent retailer. So online has been such a blessing for us.
We'll
and
have
allowed
owned
us
the
to
building
grow.
for 4 years in October. Well, it'll be 3 years that we've been open in September, I guess.
We have lots of you guys that are regulars, and I love it. I see the orders come through, and I start to recognize the names. Sometimes I even start to recognize the types of things that people buy. If you guys ordered last Saturday's thrift haul, I shipped about 50% of those orders myself because the gals are really busy trying to get caught up before the IOD release. So I went in and pulled. So what we do is that when orders come in, we pull them and we shelf them till we ship them in order. And I was pulling, but anything that I was like, I could ship this in under a few minutes, I just put it in a box and shipped it. Because that's like a better use of time than making a note that it was pulled, putting it on the shelf with, it's just easier to just ship it and get it out. So I got about half of those orders out. And I'm pretty fast at shipping. Probably not as beautifully packaged as the gals that work for me because they are bomb, but safe. My packaging
It'll
is
arrive
safe.
alive.
Also, because I'm the owner that has to pay for all the packing supplies, you will notice that when I pack your package, you're going to get what we lovingly refer to as shipping garbage. And what it is like packing material that comes on the things that come in. Like we just got a bunch of the iron organ design. So we have a bunch of the plastic that it comes in. And it's good for the environment. It's good for the pocketbook. So when I'm shipping, if I need to fill a space, I don't always use packing peanuts and things like that. I will use paper and plastic that things come in. And you can just toss it. I mean, it's better than wasting stuff. Or you can package stuff with it too. So my stuff gets real interesting, and it cleans up the back because for whatever reason I'll save it and then it just sits there for a while. So I go in and I'm like packaging everything with it. So Gypsy Ruth, we will have a video that comes out as soon as the release is live. It's already filmed. In fact, all of our flips are right over there. I think we did, 8, 9. If you count the spoons, there's probably a dozen projects. We always do one of each type. So you're going to get at least one inlay, or at least one transfer, although I think we used all the transfers. A stamp project and a mold project. So, because we like to show how to use each type of project. And then over time, we will get through all the products. Just takes us a minute because there's so many things that come out, and I can't possibly do it all in one video. You must have packaged mine before. Well, because I also sometimes will use shipping garbage, or Maria, who used to work for us, she's older like me. She's actually a little older. I think she's in her 50s. And she, a penny saved is a penny earned kind of mentality. So your sheep arrive safely packed like a boss. Those sheep are awesome because when they come to us, they have foam that's specifically made for the sheep head. So and we always save that. So when even if it's something that's been on the floor, we'll pull the sheep head and package it back in that foam. And it's amazing. Polari says, I used a bunch of IOD plastic wrappers you sent me in a package. They're great for wrapping in plastic before shipping. Yeah, and we do that too. I have to say the gals that work for us are pretty awesome. They're we get compliments all the time about their packing. Every now and then you'll have somebody new that you're training and they're not quite there yet, but everybody's pretty experienced at this point. Yeah, so we're in a sweet spot, but we have a lot of young people that work for us going to school and whatnot. So there's always transition. So we'll have to, as they get out of college
and go do what they were going to school for,
them. Yeah. We hire a lot of college kids.
They're all in their 20s right now. Eliza is the young one there.
But Eliza's been working for us since she was 10.
Yeah, Eliza is actually really
She's one of our best workers.
If I need something to get knocked out, I'm like, hey, they're all busy doing this. I need you to go do this for me.
She makes way more money per hour than any of her friends at their teenage jobs. So it works good. And look how pretty this is. Side note. So Pacific and Plaster and my little dry brush finish turned out good. Are y'all going to be filming when you go into the antique stores and Goodwills? Yes, we will film, and that will be, so Monday, you're going to get a great bins video and some more IOD on a little nightstand that I'm going to do. Thursday, you guys will get the Alabama video. And if it winds up being lots of footage, it could be 2 videos, but at least 1 Alabama video. I don't know that we'll get 2. We'll see, because we can't buy.
You can only buy so much stuff.
Yeah, normally the videos are based off of like how much we're buying, because we just film every time we see something we like. So if we only fill 4 suitcases, it's only so much footage we'll get. Shelf looks so much better. Thank you. I think it was fine before. It just needed a little freshening.
So that is, I'll hold them up close so you can see the difference between like dry brushing and and white waxing.
Okay, let's see if I got this. All right, next up, we're gonna heat gun this. They said yours does look pretty amazing on camera. It's very oxidized looking.
Yep.
You know, when something's been sitting out in the sun.
So I was going for a stone look. I feel like I got oxidized cast iron look. Okay,
I wanted to do like the navy, the anvil, and the white today, because tomorrow's video is going to be garden sage, plaster, and a little bit of honey.
All right, so not a ton of difference, but the wax sits down in the cracks a little better, whereas this sits on, when you dry brush, it sits on the high spots. The wax sits in the low spots. So it is a little bit different look. It's hard. I don't know if the camera's picking it up well. And then you can kind of see the difference between the anvil and the navy with white over the top of both.
Putting this back on here. Oh, the screw came out.
Do you need me to screw that on?
I can do it. Unless you're out of stuff to do.
No, I'm gonna go get that candlestick outside.
Oh yeah, that needs to be painted. Yeah, I can do this. I'm the one that took it apart. So the navy almost looks like denim. It does. And if you ever want like a darker navy, just add a little bit of anvil to it and you can make it black. Can you write on your chalk paint? Yes, this is mineral, but if you're using the DIY, yes. What I like to do when I'm making chalkboard is to take the DIY in black velvet, because it's more of a muted black. Paint it with that, and then you always need to prime it with, sorry, this is making me crazy. You need to prime it with chalk. So you just take a piece of chalk and go over it. This is scooching around on me. There we go. And we're through. Yeah, so just take the chalk, let it dry overnight, and then take a chalk and go over it, and then wipe it back, and then just use chalk. If you use chalk markers, it is always hard to get that off of a chalkboard. I don't care what kind you use. I think people are ridiculous when they think it's going to come off. This had chalk marker on it, this piece I'm working on right now, and I had to sand it off.
Yeah, she like sanded it, and it's metal.
Well, it also had like some paint on it, like that they used for a menu board, and I didn't want you to be able to see what the words were. Okay.
Yeah, if there's something on it, you'll almost always get like a silhouette unless you sand it or like really scrub it off.
I'm gonna go see what I want to put on the. Can't use any of the new stuff.
Careful.
Just walking right past it.
Careful over there. You don't want to accidentally grab any new things.
Oh my gosh, I'd be in so much trouble.
Yeah, we'd get canceled.
The sisters would beat me. All right. No, these are all. This is Wild Bloomin', I think, and that I used on our channel member video on Tuesday, and that should be getting back in stock soon. So if you've been waiting for that, click notify me when back in stock. Because we do, it should be coming. Should be if the Optimum board come back. Oh, I actually really love this one, and I wonder if I can beef up this smaller design. Yeah, I'm gonna center that and then do flowers around the edge.
That's from the seeds and.
This is from Ephemeral Melange, which hopefully will also be coming back in stock. I'm not positive. You post to UK? Yes, we do. So our website should show you what we can ship to you. However, if there's something you're looking for that you can't find on our website, email info@jamierayvintage.com and make sure to spell it JAMIRAY vintage.com, and Caitlin will help you, because some things we have to calculate with your actual address. I'm going to use this center.
Boy, this has so much detail on it.
Okay.
Is testing my my paint skills and getting coverage everywhere.
That looks good. Oh, I need my stick.
Don't forget your transfer stick.
I know.
It's gonna have to go back outside so it can dry and I can get a good second coat going on it.
I think that IOD releases at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
It's tough because it's like all different time zones, so we gotta like make sure because they're Pacific and we're Mountain.
Let me double check. Hold, please.
Yeah, I probably should just look that up and tell everybody. We do have lots of stock, but typically in releases past, it does go quickly and then we have to reorder because it seems like no matter how much we try to forecast, we don't quite get enough of one or two things and they sell out. And then we restock.
10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 11 a.m. our time, and 1 p.m. Eastern, and 12 o'clock noon. So hopefully so 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Utah, which is Mountain time, and then noon if you're Central. That's good. That's a little later, so it's coming out at 11 tomorrow our time.
That'll be about when we're landing. We get to Alabama like 11:45.
We might be on if we do like a premiere, we might be on the live chat because I usually get internet. One or both of us gets internet when we're on the plane. Depends on how robust it is. Tracy says, I'm always going to the charity shops in UK. Plenty of bargains to be had. Agreed. So before we went to England, people said, oh, the charity shops here. And I'm like, I think you just have to go to the right one. We love to go to Tunbridge. That's one of our favorite places to charity shop. But we found a lot of really good charity shops. You just have to hit a ton of them because they're not.
Pretty much every little town has like 2 or 3. And so as we're driving through the countryside, we just stop all day long. Like we'll be going from one bigger town to the next bigger town. But as you're going, you know, they're there. You just have to stop and pop in.
Last trip, Tenterden was way overpriced at all the charity shops, but then we went to Rye, which in the past has been overpriced, and Rye was phenomenal. And there was a new antique store that's like just across from Jepson's is like the new antique store, and we picked up copper pots that were super old, heavy, for like 15 and 20 pounds each, which I could not believe. They needed to be polished up and re-tinned, but yeah, no, that was like one of my favorite finds. But yeah, Rye was really good. So it just kind of depends on what's going on and what people are selling.
Plus, Rye has like really good food.
Yes.
It's like worth going over there.
The Globe Inn.
Yeah. Also, depending on the day, we always go a little bit down the road and hit up the Ferry Inn.
Yes. If we're going to Tunbridge, then we hit up the Bakehouse because they have these blondie bars that are the best thing that I've ever eaten. And usually we buy so many of them. That's what we snack on for the rest of the day.
It's like a meal. One of them is like 1,000 calories.
People always ask me, they're like, how come you guys like go to the same places and don't go all over? I feel like it's because we've spent a lot of time and investment really finding the good places to go. And we just like to use that investment well, you know? Oops. I got to touch that up. I don't know what I got on there. Now I won't be able to put a transfer there in that area.
I'm trying not to splatter.
No, I think it was me. It could have been you. It's fine. Put thin coat there. Thing is, once you've got the transfer on, you don't really want to heat it up, so I'll kind of blow away from that. We do not do free shipping over a certain dollar amount. When we used to do that, we just increased the price of the items to cover it. Because shipping is actually one of our hugest expenses as a business. Just the time and then the product to like ship it with. We spend over $1,000 a month just on packing supplies. Anybody that's got a package from us knows why, because we're really good at packing. But we do not have free shipping. We have some flat rate shipping. I think some of the milk paint is flat rate. I know some of the clothing is flat rate, so some of the things are. but there is like a scale. So it is cheaper per item the more you spend. So if you go to January Vintage, go to policies on the menu, go to policies or whatever, our shipping stuff is in there and it'll give you the scale. So if you order a lot of stuff,
it's kind of like
there we go.
Some companies, like if you hit a certain threshold, you know, they'll offer like a cheaper shipping rate. Is because for whatever reason, the bigger shipping companies, like if it's so big and it doesn't weigh over X amount, like they cut us a break. I'm like, well, all right.
Yeah, if a package is big, now it's still not cheap, but if a package is big and lightweight, we'll typically ship it FedEx. It's so much cheaper. But we don't ship enough through FedEx to where we have a pickup, so I have to go drop it off, but it's all right. I don't mind. I always treat myself to a little, I'm trying to decide what to put on here. I always treat myself to a little Sonic. So I'm like, look at me saving money, dropping off my own packages.
Sonic and the cherry limeade is right by the FedEx store.
Okay. This needs more. And I don't have a ton of lover of flowers, so I'm wondering if I'm going to need to go to the
Maybe just
shop.
go on the bottom.
No, I'm going to keep looking.
This needs to dry more. I didn't get it quite dry enough and it's pulling.
We finally got millets back.
Oh, there's some big butterflies you could use.
Not with that. I'm looking for the flowers. Where's the flowers?
Did you use them
There
all
they
up?
are. No.
Oh, there you go. I feel like those are a little too orangey.
Yep.
For that.
Circling
You're gonna need some big roses. Hey, there you go. Those will work.
Yeah, I might have to cut these apart. No, the IOD depends on what you order. Sorry, the shipping, I'm not the person to ask on shipping. Caitlin calculates it all, but it is all listed on the website if you go there. All right. I can tell you that we do a very good job at what we do. I need scissors. And we try to do our best. We're definitely not making money off of shipping for sure. I think just some dark oil wax on those is what I was thinking.
There's like some waxy something or other on this top
Like
lip and it keeps. We're slowly winning, but.
All right, I'm gonna use these leaves independently. I'll use the flowers first. Oh, we definitely recycle packaging, but you can't recycle every packaging. Like there's also time is money, so you got to do both. But we recycle every box that comes in. We definitely do.
Okay, I'm gonna stop fussing with that. Put it outside.
Now I've yacked so much, I've lost my transfer stick.
Let it dry up. Is it under? Feels like it's under here. Nope, that's a seam on the drop cloth.
Oh, nope.
It's in your pocket?
No.
Did you put it in a pocket?
No, I'm just gonna grab another one.
There's about 20 of them over there.
The blue is such a great backdrop. Like, I feel like a dark jewel tone really pairs well with some of these lighter floral colors. And sometimes people don't think about it. They think of the yellows and the Americana, which they definitely pair well with these two, but sometimes it's good to have a nice change. It's going to take me a minute to do this because it's got a good amount of space here to fill. So I've got to take my time and zhuzh it up. Have you ever just had a product that you said, forget about it? Yes. Not very often.
Occasionally, though.
occasionally we're like, this is just not.
A lot
Or
of
we
times
just
it
screwed it
happens
up
in the
beyond.
repair stage where we're like fixing something, trying to repair it, get it ready to go, and it just won't like come together how we want. Not often though. Usually we can power through and bend the products and the piece to our will. Cody, what are you doing? Are you having a good day? You doing your very best puppying?
I did a video the other day about him wanting to be on the couch, and everybody's like, let your dog on your couch. Our dogs like to dig in the mud, and we actually have replaced, so like we have probably spent over $10,000 on couches. And yeah, we tried covering with blankets, we tried all the things. So the dogs, it's not that they never get on them, because when we're not home they do what they want, but we try to keep them off the couches.
The thing that's hard about it is I had them trained to not be on the couches, and then at some point Jamie was like, no, come up here and snuggle with me while I watch a show. And then we're like, wait, that was I tried to tell you. But
well, I probably told you that you weren't the boss of me, and then I did
know.
anyways, and
Yep.
I should have just let you be the boss of me.
But now we're circling
right.
back after they were allowed to be on the couches for a while to no more couch being on the couches, and they're getting pretty good. They're all right. They're going to be 4 years old this fall, so
yeah, I am actually trying to plant stuff, not just grass in the backyard now. Hopefully they'll leave it alone. We'll see. We had some hydrangeas that I had inside the house that needed to go outside. They're pretty sad looking, so I figured, you know, they were destined for the dump anyway, so let's see if they survive. And if they survive, then I might plant more here. I actually have a way prettier garden and floral arranging in the yard at the shop than I do at my own house.
the shop is actually really coming along. Of all those flowers we planted up, we planted thousands of zinnias along a couple of fence lines in the garden. If those all come up, it is going to look amazing in about 3 months.
Yep. Zeb made me buy those stencils. He did such a good job. Oh yeah, those stencils were so good. I actually need to, with all this, I need to make sure before the month's end that I do more with this month's subscription stencil, because it is really good.
Of all the things we have going on, the subscriptions, don't sleep on them. They're fairly inexpensive. They only come around once. And if you see something, I would jump on it, because we always say with the caveat, we may bring some of those designs to like the big public releases. But so far, everything that we've done has been exclusive to the subscription, and it only lasts for 30 days, and then we move on to the next set of designs. So just, you know, if you see something, don't let it pass you by, because that's probably, for now, the one time it's going to be available.
Is that the shirt you were wearing with the overalls? Yes. I love to wear this shirt with overalls with the yellow ones. So the yellow ones wound up, they no longer were making them. And so I actually sold my pair to a customer that really wanted them at half off of retail. So that way they could have them. But we do have another pair on pre-order that are similar to those yellow ones that are blue and white stripe, I think. So I'm excited for those to come. Hopefully I can order more than one round. I didn't realize how popular the yellow overalls would be, and then I went to reorder and they no longer make them. Luckily, the gal that wanted the overalls is the same size as me, so it worked out. Okay.
Well, and they run pretty big.
I'm getting there. I'm definitely going to, oh yeah, those are definitely roomy overalls. I'm going to bring some stuff on the top. Let's see what we got here. It's maybe like my one.
I'm glad I picked that up. I paid, I think it was $5.99 at Goodwill for that, which I usually, unless something is just like really amazing, I try to keep it like under $4 or $5 from the thrift store. Just because a lot of times, like, I mean, it's taken Jamie an hour to put this together, and we're using a bunch of transfer and paint and things like that. So if you don't buy it at a good enough price and you're going to do a makeover on it, it's just not worth it.
No, I always love it when people are like, I can't believe you're going to paint it and charge it. I'm like, it takes quite a while, and it may look like we're fast, but it takes quite a while for us to finish projects. And then sometimes we're finishing them off camera, or whatever because we're not getting it all the way done.
That clock that everyone loved in a couple videos ago, like I painted that at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night because that's when I had to get it done. And it was sold, so we needed to ship it out.
Oh, Melissa says she got her June papers and can't wait to use them.
Oh, the June ones are good this month. That ends actually June 12th is when that subscription ends, and then we'll have another one. So it seems like that's a long ways out, but that's like 20 days.
Stencil subscription should probably start shipping by the end of this week. My manufacturer misread my message to her and didn't know that I had approved those. And so I followed up on them and she's like, oh, shoot. So she's sending those out. I need to check the tracking today. Originally, when we started doing the subscriptions, we said they would ship by the 1st of the following month. So like in this case, June 1st, but we just ship them as soon as we get like the payment in, because they usually, if people sign up for the recurring payments, we just ship them out as soon as the payment comes through.
Yeah, it's usually within a day or two, typically.
Because we just have so many orders that come in, it's just easier to do that than to wait and do it all at once.
All right, this one, so much detail on this. All right, I'm going to do this has got like some little waxy stuff. It looks like it is drying out over the top. I'm getting coverage because when I heat gunned it, it kind of took all the waxiness out. Just want to make sure it's got good coverage. And then Jamie wanted to oil wax these, so I will get that going. A lot of times, like whether you go with a dark color or a light color, if you go one solid color, you lose some of that detail. This one, you can see it because it's like really curvy, but if it's a flat surface that has a bunch of detail, and especially with a dark color, if you go dark, it's just gonna like absorb the light up and lose a lot of that.
I'm using some butterflies and dragonflies from Wild Bloomin'. Add some whimsy here.
That's really coming together, though.
Yeah, I think so. Oops, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. Let me.
You're like way over there. You need me to scooch?
Yeah, I was kind of getting away from you because you were painting.
I was not splattering.
No,
I mean, maybe, but
sometimes that happens. Hey, I do it too. Splatter happens.
So we're going to see a couple of the waxes here. You saw the white wax that I used. Dark wax works about the same as the white wax in the paste. The oil wax is different. It's an oil. Instead of it dries hard. So you can, once that's cured up, you can do like a transfer or something over the top of it, or paint over it if you don't like the way it turned out, or you're tired of it and want to change your decor, whatever it is. If you use the oil wax, you can, once it's cured, you can paint or do whatever back over the top. But the paste wax, like the white wax, that's the last finish, unless you're going to strip that off or sand it off or get it off of there, because it needs to breathe. And it is pretty durable, but just know that if you've used this paste wax on something, that it's going to be the last part of the finish, like the very last step. And we have painted over wax. We break the rules all the time, but it's not ideal. Oh no, we're on my last chip brush.
Peggy, so with the rice paper, we use our crystal clear chandelier liquid patina. Caitlin's not on here, but as soon as I get this butterfly on this little leaf here, I can drop the link for that. It's kind of a crystal. There it is. Our search button is actually pretty great on our website. It works pretty good. You can find almost anything. I'm going to drop this. What color do we use on our cupboards? We used Provincial. I can grab that for you too. Let's see.
Yeah, watching the live chat. James
And that's the only
links.
product we used because they were raw wood, so they didn't need any primer, and we used enough coat so we didn't need any sealer. So we only used Provincial. If I was painting existing cabinets, I would have used our Salvation solution first and lightly sanded them. Okay, this is where we're at with my little art project here. It's turning out. And I think it's so cute. You could even put flowers in here. You could put mail in here. I'm almost wondering if I should, I don't know.
So on this finish, this is from Sweet Pickens, this oil wax, and it is magical over milk paint. If you want like a really old antique type look, use this over milk paint and almost every time without fail. Like you don't even have to try. Just looks awesome. So I'm using a chip brush because if you use a regular brush, it does harden like a sealer. Usually it takes it a day or so to really start curing up, but, or I guess setting is the word. It takes up to 30 days to cure depending on your temperature and humidity. But you can ruin a good brush real quick if you don't get that washed out pretty quickly. And it does take some effort to wash it out. Oh, I don't want that.
Yeah, this actually needs to go in water. This cottage color sticks pretty good. It is a little bit more difficult to get transfers to go on an uneven, unsealed surface like this raw wood situation here. So just know that if you don't want to fight it, you could just throw some sealer over the top of it or just be patient. Yesterday I had something and it just was not sticking. So I wound up
I think the paint was just too fresh.
I wound up doing like a white dry brush. No, I wound up doing a dry brush with plaster and the transfer stuck so much better. I mean, it will, once I get it on here and I wax over top, it's not like it's going to come off. Just sometimes it doesn't want to stick. You saw how easy it glides on this. And of course, I got to make it even more difficult trying to go up over the, oh, forget it. I was going to try to go over this metal piece, but this is not on the cards today. Okay.
So what I'm doing, I'm wiping it back, but I'm also trying to make sure that I'm not leaving like any fingerprint smudges and streakies from the paper towel. I don't want to wipe so much off that I get it all out of there, but you don't want it to look smudgy or streaky. That's not.
Sorry, I had a question and you're still talking.
No, it's just not a very like natural wear, time-worn look if you got like a fingerprint on there.
Will you have to seal the transfers that you're currently putting on? Yes, I will be using clear wax. Does the oil wax seal the milk paint from chipping? If the milk paint is going to chip, there is nothing that is going to make it stop chipping. So just know that. Because the milk paint, you have to get it all the loose paint off and then you can seal it. And if it's a really chippy, I would use clear like paste wax, not like the oil wax or liquid sealer, because water activates the chipping. And so
liquids.
You could, if it's not super chippy, it's fine. But if it's super chippy, don't use a liquid sealer or else it's going to chip some more. And then that's not very fun. I learned that the hard way. Jamie will have to, oh, okay, I answered that. Sorry, Caitlin's not here, so I'm having to answer questions too. Do you ever use white oil wax over white paint and then dry brush with a dark color?
I've not tried it.
You could.
I'm going to set that there to dry for a minute. I'll show you close in a minute.
Let it cure up, though. You don't really want to paint over the oil wax before it's cured.
just gonna need a little touch up, one last little touch up coat of paint in some of the details.
This needs a little transfer too, and then
Okay.
I'm done.
What time are we at? We gotta watch
It's
our
at
time
11:10, but I feel like we might as well just get these.
We gotta finish
We're
them.
gonna get them finished. Because
We're
we gotta
gonna finish them on
anyways.
camera or off camera. They gotta get done.
So we'll just hang out till they're done. It's not, if it was gonna be another hour, I'd be like, yeah, we're good. But I think we'll be done in about 10 minutes. I'm really just being extra here, adding all these extra little transfers to this. But I wanna bring the design down into the piece, and I just think that does it. Cute guys. I feel like there's still airspace that I want to fill. So we're just going to keep going until I like the look. Some people might say it's too much. And I'm like, well, maybe it's not enough.
For you.
For you. I don't know what I did with this. The top of that leaf is. I'm like, do we need a little frog? I don't know. Probably not. Using this side. Nothing's worse though than when a design just looks patchy, you know, like it needs more and it's not there. That's why it's good to save all your little pieces because you can always use them to fill in. You don't have to use just one transfer on a piece. You can use lots of different transfers.
All right, we're almost there. This one is really going to show when I oil wax it, so I'm trying to hurry and get it done for you. So I didn't distress that one. It's pretty shiny metal underneath, so I just oil waxed it. I think I'll do the same on this one. I'll just oil wax it. This is the plaster in the cottage color that has the built-in sealer. So it's not gonna, I mean, it's pretty fresh, so it is absorbing some of that oil wax a little bit, but not really. It's mostly just sitting on the top and curing up. Whereas if you were to do like DIY paint or even the milk paint, those are very porous, meaning not sealed, very matte finishes. And it will really absorb down in. So just keep that in mind. You're going to get more like they'll be darker in coloration if you didn't seal first with like a clear oil wax and then you just went with the color. You're going to get a lot of that dark oil wax effect on there.
Guys, I just received the stencil you used last week. It's so beautiful. Thank you. I hope you have many successful projects with it. It is a really fun stencil. And I love the way Zeb used it last week because it was unexpected, you know, the quarters, and he used little bits and pieces of it.
Really showed how versatile the stencils are.
You don't have to use stencils or transfers or anything the way it comes. You can layer them the way that you want, and that's where the artistry comes in. Somebody commented, you're not an artist, you're just putting a sticker on something. I'm like, trust me, there is definitely a learning curve. And there's some art involved to making things balanced and layered. It's like mixed media type situation. Am I a fine artist?
We never claimed to be artists, so
well, I mean, I'm
thanks for the validation.
And I feel like so many people are so worried, oh, I can't do that because it's too hard. And I hope that we show you guys that, you know, the more you do it, the easier it gets, and that you really can just keep on going and creating. Oops. I pulled up there. That's okay because I'm going to distress that. I feel like we are getting there, guys. One little.
Some of these little cracks and details just are fighting me.
On that one.
It was pretty shiny because it's like a resin.
Yeah.
And then it's just not, there's like, this is almost like a web up top here.
Yeah,
on
that's
this
very
leaf.
detailed. I picked the wrong brush. I should have used a round brush. Push. Will you ever come out with coffee bean brown cottage color? I am hoping to come out with a brown color. I don't know if it'll be coffee bean, but I do want a brown cottage color. That's really the only thing I feel like they were really missing in the lineup. We are for sure by the end of the, well, I shouldn't say for sure, but by the end of the year, beginning of next, we'll come up with 6 more bespoke milk paint colors. We just have to get with Sasha and create them. So probably sometime this summer or beginning of the fall, we'll head over to her warehouse, which is here in Utah, and do some color creating. It's easy to do it in person.
Okay.
All right.
It's time.
Ta-da!
That turned out awesome.
Now the question is, do I need to do something right here? Maybe. So like a little, no, because I feel like if I do one thing here, then I need to do another thing on the other side. If you give a mouse, I need to give a mouse a cookie. I could use these birds right there. We're done. We are done, Jamie. Okay.
Yeah, just finish your little sifter and
I know.
walk away.
I'm not going to wax it on camera just in case I really am not done. But I think that this turned
just
out
in
really.
case I really am not done.
All right, sifter, you're next. I'm going to use this pretty little piece here. The only person who knows if I'm done or not is probably God. Even I don't know. Looks like artistry to me. Thanks, Kelly. Debbie says, so pretty. I feel like I'm creating art when I make my stuff. It does take work to put things together and have a vision to recreate items. Yeah, I think thrift flipping is an art form. And definitely the more you create, the better you get at it. And I feel like when we started in this industry, we were just mostly like paint things one color, furniture, and move on with our life. And I still do that sometimes if that's what I want for a room. But not as much of the small things just because we didn't really have an outlet. We did a few things for ourselves or if we did a market. And now we've kind of transitioned into these smaller projects. I guess we're sealing this with dark oil wax because I just wiped some off of it.
Some dark oil wax off of that.
Yeah, so I'll give it to
It'll
you.
look amazing with the dark oil wax.
I'm gonna lightly sand it and then you can see
everything does. It's fabulous.
But it's fun and I really enjoyed these smaller projects. I do like furniture and we do paint stuff as it sells. We'll see how things go this summer, and if more things sell in the shop, then we'll paint it. Or if we need things like if we get the cottage going, we'll need projects for that, and so there'll be furniture in there. And we have so many furniture videos. Like if you want to know how to milk paint or use cottage color or DIY paint on the furniture, you can. And really everything we do on thrift flips, you can do on furniture. Like just on a larger scale. This is just more bite size, which I feel like it reaches more people because not everybody has the space or desire to do larger pieces. Okay.
Oh, this is going to be awesome. I knew it was going to be good, but it's a triumph, really.
It is a triumph. Triumph is that you finished it. The smaller one is going to get a nest with a bird on it for sure. I don't know if the bigger one will. If it does, I'll have to change the listing and include the price for it. Slightly distress this. I like to bring out the part where it says cups. And I've started not painting the handle, and I love it because I like the two-toned. Painting the handle's a pain in the butt anyways, and it's just like a win-win. You do have to be careful when you get down in here to not get paint everywhere. But You do not have to distress your transfers. I just like to. So I like the way it looks. Look at all these little pieces of transfer. I think we got all of our projects done. Did we not? Is there anything outside?
This is the bulk of what needed painted from the last thrift haul. We've been doing a lot of projects, and even Saturday's video, it might be a little light on a few things because we used everything we thrifted from Monday for tomorrow's video. So Saturday is not going to have very many things that need painted either.
I'm going to lightly distress this.
Because we already did it.
Now, this is going to look a little streaky, but typically when I clear wax it, it kind of comes back. Changes it up a little bit. Distress this around the edge a little.
Oh, I almost did what I was telling you guys not to do and left a big old thumbprint in that oil wax.
I wonder if you could dark oil wax this.
I'm sure I could. Just make sure those transfers are all down.
They are. Where's the brush with the oil wax?
Oh, no, you ruined it.
I did not.
It's going to be amazing. All right, this one's a little bit drier. So this is like super slick, shiny metal that we painted. And you can see that oil wax is still sitting there on this piece down in the cracks and creases. It works similarly to dark wax. And we also have a black wax and a black oil wax if you prefer the black. But just know that it's not going to sit quite like this with the waxes, and you're going to use significantly more elbow grease to get that off than the oil wax.
I am not going to dark oil wax this piece up front. I'll just clear wax that. Maybe I'll just use my rag.
This one's really good. Oops, missed a spot.
I know that looks good. Just kind of darken it up a little bit. I said I wasn't gonna, and then I'm. See, I just told you. I never know when I'm done. This is gonna seal my transfers, although I feel like I need to use a rag instead of I said I wasn't gonna use these for projects, but then here I am.
Never nevering like you never nevered before.
Nothing's safe in this house. Well, that's much better.
Do we have anything outside? I don't think we do right now.
You want to double check?
Oh, don't forget to oil wax your sifter.
Oh, I got to oil wax the bottom of this.
Nope, nothing outside.
You want to oil wax the sifter real quick?
Yep.
I feel like I had another project. Oh,
we have that and those two things there.
Oh, that's right. I'm like, I feel like there was something else. Okay. We'll show you guys everything. Okay. Just kind of darkened it up a little bit. Darkened up this bottom. I actually like this darker. I didn't know that I would, but I like it darker because it was kind of like too contrasty, and now it goes well. Oh, Caitlin's back on. Hey, Caitlin, how's my nephew? Oh, my great nephew, I guess, because Caitlin's my niece. Okay, so here's this. This is Pacific if you need a good navy blue, and then I used so many transfers. I know we have Lover of Flowers. I know we have Rose Botanical in. Wild Bloomin' and Ephemeral Melange, I think, are out, but Caitlin could tell you for sure.
Caitlin, the release is at 10 a.m. our time tomorrow, right?
No, 11 a.m.
Oh, 11 a.m.
10 a.m. Pacific. So here's the shelf.
And 11 a.m.
And then you'll have to picture this with a cutie little, you're going to have to wipe that back.
I know, I splattered. It's okay.
Picture this with a cutie little nest on it and bird. I actually have Americana eggs to put in that. And then Zeb's. About an hour and a half, not too bad. I did a little painting ahead of time, but We got a lot of projects done. And this is not neither light blue nor light green. We can expand out of our color scheme we usually do.
Lots of neutrals today.
These items are already listed. We need to update the photos. This one I know for sure is sold. It sold last night. I made sure we got it painted. When we started the live, the candlesticks, the columns, the sifter, and this piece here were not sold, but I don't know if that's changed.
These are from like probably a month ago, so
this
you might have to dig back.
Last Saturday. So I definitely feel like whoever is getting this is probably getting a deal because I didn't realize I was going to use so many transfers, but I needed to. I don't make the rules. It's just the way it is. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. Our video is coming out at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, and 1 p.m. Eastern. And then we will have our regularly scheduled Saturday Night Live with everything that was on Monday's video. And then we'll see you guys next week. That turned out good. I actually love the dark oil wax over plaster. All right, guys, if you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY
and thrifting. We'll see you on the next episode.